And a pleasant good evening to you and to yours. And welcome to the Brevard Sports Network, where tonight we got us a doozy of a semi pro amateur adult football game between the 2-0 Duval Raiders and the 2-0 East Coast Sharks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski, and welcome to the O-Dome at Merritt Island. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Port Java and the Lucky Devil Barber Shop. Well, before we get going tonight, I had an opportunity prior to the game here on the Lucky Devil Barber Shop pregame show to speak with one of the top hair cutters there in Hunter Sullivan and the head coach for the East Coast Sharks, Scott Veit. So without further ado, here is that conversation. Game show, and I'm joined here by Hunter Sullivan and head coach Scott Veit. And coach, no disrespect, I'm going to give the microphone to coach first.
Yes,
Coach, first of all, congratulations on the 2-0 start. Obviously, defense has been a big key to start this thing off. But tonight, I feel like there's going to be some points needed on the board. Hold this up a little more. Points are going to be needed on the board tonight.
Absolutely.
What have you guys done to get this offense ready to go against these guys tonight?
So we got real discipline with our line, our calls. Biggest thing is going to be communication. They blitz a lot, so our O-line needs to talk to each other, get that out there, and we got to make the catches. You know, we dropped some big passes in last week for touchdowns.
Right.
It hurt us. Other than that, that's about it, man. Communication, make the plays right, be disciplined, and go out there and just execute what we've been working on all week.
Look, I know this defense is good, but in your wildest dreams, Coach, did you ever expect this kind of a start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
I like it. I
you
like
know,
it.
being here from the start, you know, the first year with 15 players.
Right.
Second year, you know, we got a little bit higher with 22, 23. This year we recruited pretty big, and some of the players that we got, man, are just stepping up and just playing huge. So,
I love the numbers, man.
Yes.
And you know what, Coach? I love the fact that you have local guys involved
Yes.
as well. A lot. And when I say local guys, I mean guys that were in high school, for God's sakes, just this past year.
Let me put it this way. We've got 7 guys out there that I coached when they were 5, 6 years old.
Unbelievable.
So all the way up through high school. I mean, to high school. And I got a couple guys that, you know, I coached at high school at Titusville. So
I love it.
But, yeah, I got 7 guys that I've known since they were 6 years old. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn the microphone over here to Hunter. And Hunter, make sure you hold that up. And
Yes,
so, first of all, before we went on to do this, your eyes just have this different look about them. I mean, you're like, I'm pumped up, I'm ready to go. Tell me how you're feeling. I mean, tell them how you're feeling.
I'm dialed in.
You ready to go?
Very much ready to go.
Tell me about this defense, man. What makes this defense so special?
Honestly, it's the love for each other.
Yeah.
I know our defense. They know each other like the back of their hands. They know what the other one's typically going to do. They communicate very effectively. And I got to say, it's a family atmosphere when you're out there with them.
I love the family atmosphere, but you guys Satellite uses this thing called get after that ass, okay? And pardon my French, if you will, but this is semi-pro football, so we can say that. But you guys really get after it. Talk about that
Oh,
mindset.
yes, sir. We are beyond hungry. Coach Mark has us, going for that jugular every single play. We are always coming. There is at least 5 of us coming at one time, guaranteed.
Now, tonight, this is a team that likes to throw the ball. They got speed on the outside. They can get the ball down the field a little bit, I'd imagine, without giving anything away tonight. What can you tell us about how you're going to approach these guys tonight?
Well, I can tell you that our defensive backs are locked in. I've been watching them out here in practice this week. I know that they were very dialed in, just like I am when I showed up here and I was talking to you about it. The mindset out here is we are 0-2 against this team, but we are not going to be 0-2 much longer. We are very much wanting this W tonight.
You know, I don't think a lot of people realize, and Coach, you can chime in on this as well, the ability to get a 4-man rush home is so integral in football. We watched the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl doing it, and they blitzed twice the whole game. You get 4 guys home, you're home free because then your defensive backs can do what they need to do. I love the mentality of that line, the hunting, the eating. How do you guys prepare? You guys got full-time jobs. You own a barbershop. We're going to talk about that. How the hell do you guys find time to get dialed in like that?
I don't own the barbershop.
Okay,
I
all right, yeah.
I work there. That's my other family. But, yes, absolutely. when we get into practice, we know that we get very few opportunities to prep for games. So at that moment in time, when we cross that threshold to that field, we have to lock in. We have to dial everything into a T. We cannot have mistakes. We have mistakes. We have to correct them immediately. Just like out here last week, 2 weeks ago, we watched a DB drop an interception. What did he do? He went right to the ground and did push-ups.
Yep.
That's the mentality. You get better every single play. You learn something new. Even if you win that play, you learn something new and you keep moving forward.
Coach, year 3, this just feels like a team this year that has one goal and one goal in mind, and that's to be, I don't know where the Super Bowls are this year, but to be there playing for one. I watched the 4 teams last year in the Super Bowl, and I'm not afraid to sit here and say that this team was better than all 4 teams I saw in those games last year. Tell me about how you feel about where this program is in year 3.
Okay, so huge is our depth. We got hurt in the playoffs last year. When we went into that game, we were missing our left tackle. We plugged somebody in that wasn't there for it, wasn't ready for it, and it hurt us. Our DBs got us hurt last year too, giving up, I believe it was 3 50-plus yard passes to win the game. We controlled that game till the fourth quarter, and then we gave up huge plays, being undisciplined, selfish, going for the ball instead of just batting it down or just playing the ball. That's what's different this year. We're a very unselfish team. We've been pushing the discipline, being unselfish, playing as a team, a family, like Hunter was saying. And that's the difference this year. The depth and the unselfishness we got this year. We got a bunch of players that are one goal. Like you said, that's it.
Yeah.
Championship or nothing.
I just feel like that's what the goal is. And, to see a team like Duval, this is a great test, tonight. Coach, what are they going to do tonight? What are they going to present maybe not problems, but what are they going to do tonight that you have prepared for?
I think their size and their speed.
Yeah.
Our guys are not intimidated by them. We're ready for it. We've been working on every play that we've got lots of film on them. We're just prepared.
Ready to go.
We ain't worried about them. We ain't worried about their size, their speed, their numbers. We're here to play. We're here to just take it home for the East Coast Sharks.
I told Eddie the other day in the interview, I've become a fan, which is, that's the cardinal sin of broadcasting is to be a fan, because I sit here and I start giving my opinions, and nobody cares about that. All right, let's wrap it up with talking about Lucky Devil Barber Shop, because we can't thank you enough for sponsoring the Sharks. This is not easy to do from a business standpoint. Tell us about Lucky Devil Barber.
So Lucky Devil Barber Shop was started in 2020 by Spencer Tinker. The shop is now currently owned by his mother, Jody Tinker.
Okay.
It's a great atmosphere. We treat it just like we do out here on the football field. It is family atmosphere in there. Our barbers, Adam, Dutch, Cabrina, and Leo. Everybody comes in. They give amazing professional cuts, hot towel shaves, and everything of that nature. It's just one of those things that we're very community-based. We're out there. We love to support, our community in any possible way we can, food drives, different things of that nature. So please look us up. Please come out and see us. Give me a call. I'll be the one answering the phone, and I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, guys, good luck tonight, and we'll see you for a victorious post-game show. For Coach Veit, for Hunter Sullivan, I'm Alan Slaughterzinski for the Lucky Devil Barber pregame show. All right. I want to thank Coach Veit and Hunter Sullivan. Apologize for the focus there, the in and out focus on the camera. That sunbeam and me moving in and out. It's the first pregame show we've done here, so we'll get it nailed down for you. But what was important were the words of Hunter Sullivan and Coach Veit. As Coach Veit brings his team into action here tonight. 2-0 on the season, and they've scored a ton of points, and they've hardly given up any so far this year. 92 points scored and just 6 given up. The Duval Raiders this year, they are first in the AAA Elite South Division. They are 2-0. They have scored 78 points and allowed just 12. Their 4 captains tonight was number 1, Brandon McCray, number 17, Dan Clayton, number 3, Daryl Johnson Jr., and 0, Keelan Stocker. For the Sharks, it was Nelson Camperi, Jarvel Francis, Tay Jones, and Ryan Veit, as Duval won the toss and they deferred. So you will see the Sharks offense on the field first, and of course, We heard from Coach Veit about how the offense is going to have to tonight put some points on the board if they are going to snap a two-game losing streak to the Duval Raiders. 0-2 all time against the Raiders. As getting ready to kick off will be Dan Clayton. Ball's on the tee, and we are ready to go. Ball is fielded at about the 15, out across the 25, 30, 35, out to the 40-yard line. So outstanding field position for the Sharks to start. Nelson Kemperi has been the quarterback, and he will be the quarterback again to start here tonight. Everything but the time. I'll give you the time. We got one of the best officials in the business on the clock tonight. Mr. Eddie Dufresne, 14:52 to go here, just underway. Kemperi from the gun. Actually, it's not Kemperi. Throws, caught. Nice pitch and catch there. The throw from Patrick Knight. And that's a Shark first, or no, sorry, check that. That's 7. 2nd and 3. Don't fool me now, eyes. Knight with a great job just getting rid of that right there on the receiver's break as he turned and the ball was waiting for him. You'll take 7 yards on first down all day long. 2nd and 3. That's number 10 you see in motion. It's Kendall Sawyer. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Kemperi in the slot. I believe it was Nelson Kemperi with the catch. Knight drops back. He's got time. In trouble. Dropped the ball. He had the ball knocked out of his hand. And that's the one. Oh, and Duval has it. And it will be Duval football. That's a strip sack. And the Raiders create the first big play of the game. And it's a turnover of quarterback Patrick Knight. And, well, that's the one thing you can't have happen is lose that battle. But no panic in the Sharks as the Duval Raiders take the field. This is a good football team. It's a good organization, Duval. Now, their roster is not in numerical order, so as the game progresses, I will too in terms of the names, et cetera, et cetera. Quarterback with a quick pitch out. And that's a good job by the Sharks defense there. The ball carrier was Daryl Johnson Jr., and the Sharks keep it to a 1-yard game. This is a game tonight that's going to be trench warfare. The Sharks love to bring pressure. Defensive coordinator Mark Barton loves bringing these exotic blitz packages, but I don't think we're going to see that tonight because Duval has speed on the outside, and they can throw the football deep. They will beat you deep if you gamble too much. 2nd down and 9. Man in motion. Quarterback turns, gives, and there is that penetration from the defense, and that's just how good that defense is. As you saw Hassan Childs come in. Hassan, you talk about exotic blitz packages. Hassan Childs came in from the secondary on that one, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 15 for Duval. 12:48 to go in the opening quarter. Obviously a passing situation here. Quarterback is number 9. That's William Weiss Jr. Empty backfield set for Weiss Jr. And we're going to get a timeout on the field here with 12:26 to play in the first quarter. So Barton's defensive lineman continuing to do what they do best, and that's push offensive lines backwards. Once again, we want to thank Lucky Devil Barbershop and Port Java. And, of course, the EAFL and Michael Torres. So 2 timeouts left for Duval, 3 for the Sharks. Now we're going to have trips stacked on top of each other to the near side. 2 wide receivers, far side for William Weiss Jr., the cornerback. Weiss wants it. He's got it. Looking, he's in trouble. Steps up, and he's past the point of no return, and he will be close to a Duval first down. He won't have it. He'll be about 3 yards short. They got a heck of a kicker, but I would imagine with them being in no man's land here at 4th and about 3, maybe 2.5, I would imagine they'll go for this. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a free possession, so to speak. As number 11 comes in. That's DeTrance Limbrick. 11:50 to go first quarter. Offsides, and that is a great job on the snap count there. And that's why number 11 came in. Number 11 came in and just delivered the snap count. He must have better inflection in his voice, because that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Raiders now. But he'll stay in to run this first down play. As Weiss comes off there, Limbrick turns, gives to Johnson, and Johnson wiggles his way for a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 now for Duval. Ball at the 22. So approaching the red zone here, definitely in Dan Clayton territory at this point. Back to the line of scrimmage. Weiss is back in. Nope, actually it's a Wildcat formation. Straight up the gut. Still on his feet and in for a Duval touchdown is number 18 from a Wildcat look, Malik Harris, the athlete. And with 10:30 to go and no flags down, the 2nd and 6 turns into a 22-yard touchdown. Lots of middle area there. That's just a good play. Caught me off guard. Obviously caught the Sharks off guard. So a touchdown by Malik Harris. So that's 3 different guys to take a snap on the opening drive for the Raiders offense. The kick is up, and that is good. And with 10:30 to go in the first quarter, that's points off turnovers, and that is crucial in big games. And as a result, Duval takes a 7-0 lead. We'll be back in just a minute right here on the Brevard Sports Network. All right, welcome back here to the O-Dome on the campus of Merritt Island High School. Alan Slaughter-Zinski with you tonight. 10:30 to go, and 22-yard touchdown run by Malik Harris has the Duval Raiders up 7-0. And here's the kickoff. Good one. That's not as good as it was last time, but it bounces, bobbled, picked up at the 19, across the field, and across the 30, breaking tackles, and forced out. And again, outstanding field position to start for the Sharks offense, who will start 1st and 10 from about, looks like about the 40, about the 40-yard line. Let's see if we get Nelson Comperi or Patrick Knight at quarterback. Comperi is obviously the bigger guy. He's the bruising type. He can throw it. He can chuck it too. Knight more athletic. He can throw it. And it is going to be Knight. Knight from the gun. He's going to have 3 wide receivers to the near side of the field. 1 back in the backfield. 1 wide receiver at the top of your screen. Knight, 2-step drop, looking. He throws it. And, oh, what a catch. He had all day to throw that football, and he drops a dime. Looks like number 8, I believe. Grady Pizarro, the tight end, with the catch. 10-11 to go, and a hurry-up offense coming after the 30-yard completion from Knight to Pizarro. And it's 1st and 10 for the Sharks at the Raider 30. If you're the Raiders secondary, you can't let a tight end beat you after that much time in the backfield. Knight, it was an option that he pulled the ball back out of the belly of the running back, and probably should have gave it to him. And that'll be a loss of 4 or 5. It'll be 2nd and 15 now for the Sharks, who are looking for the equalizer here with 9:26 to go in the opening quarter. Malik Harris with a 22-yard touchdown run. Nelson Comperi lining up in the slot far side. Knight looking to throw. Cuts one loose. Down the field. Is that caught? Did he catch that? Incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 15. Good throw. Put it only where his wide receiver could get it. Yeah, and it's those numbers again. Look, I even brought these this week, the good old binoculars, and still couldn't see a number over there. Comperi now wide right here, closest to the Sharks sideline. Knight, 3rd and 15, looking to throw. Slides left. He's going to go down. He's got to get rid of the football. You at least got to get rid of the football. You cannot take a loss that much on 3rd down, because now you've got to punt the football. And at least if you're 4th down and 16, 17 from the 35 or 36, you take a shot on 4th down. But now you definitely got to punt it, because it's going to be 4th down and forever. And I'm absolutely positive that is the conversation that Connor Veit is having with Patrick Knight on the sideline. Yep. That's a great punt. I mean, a great punt. And caught at the 12, cuts back, still on his feet, and he'll be down at the 22-yard line. So this is where the Duval Raiders will take over for their 2nd possession of the game. 8 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Glad you could be with us here tonight. Thank you for joining me. This is another quarterback in. Here's the throw. Oh, man, nearly intercepted. Good one-on-one cover out. Well, not good. That's great one-on-one coverage there. That's Kendall Sawyer out there as he's covering up number 8. And really, Sawyer became the receiver on that play as Derek Johnson became the defensive back for the Raiders. Johnson did a good job preventing Sawyer from coming down with that thing. So now it's 2nd and 10. And I'll tell you what, these teams are not afraid to air it out right now. Nobody. I mean, you just had a 22-yard rushing. There you go. I was going to say you just had a 22-yard rushing. Great open field tackle coming in there. As soon as I can identify the number, I will tell you who did that. But that's just a great stop preventing. And that's coming down from the secondary to make that tackle is Cooper, Keyshawn Cooper. And that brings up 3rd down and 5. Cooper now gives his defense a chance to get off the field here on 3rd down, and that's exactly what the Sharks defense is going to need. That's a big key, getting off the field on 3rd down here. 7:15 and running here in quarter number 1. 7-0 Raiders on top. Motion man, quarterback. Back to Weiss Jr. looking to throw. In trouble one way, he's got to come back the other, and he's going to lose 6 yards, and it's going to be 3 and out for the Duval Raiders because they're going to have to punt as it's now going to be 4th down and 9, and a great job again by this Sharks defense. $6:48 to go. Should be able to see who's back deep now, but probably not. Would help if I turned the binoculars around the other way. That punt is way short. You just got to get away from that, let it take the Duval bounce. So the ball will be down at the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. And this is where the Sharks will take over here. Let's see if the offensive package changes any. Not much success other than the one completion to Pizarro there, the 30-yarder. But let's see if they try to run the football a little bit here. You're going to have that blend to beat a veteran team like Duval. You're not going to beat them playing one-dimensional football. Knight from the gun. Oh, blitz, all-out blitz in a perfect time for a screen, and it's executed to perfection for a gain of 12, and it'll be 1st and 10 ball spot on the midfield 50-yard line stripe. They blitzed, and just worked out well for the Sharks on that play. 5:49 to go. 1st and 10 at the 50. Sharks have made some plays. Turns, gives. And there you go. That's Jarvel Francis, the former Vieira running back, as he picks up 11 more, and in 2 plays, the Sharks are across the midfield stripe and into Raider territory. 1st and 10 at the Duval 39. 5:20 to go first quarter. Knight gives to Francis. Oh, yep, he does give to Francis. And he's not grabbed by the face mask. It may have looked like it, but he wasn't. And in on the tackle that time is number 13 for Duval. See if I can find his name for the start of the next play here. That's Dewan Hayes makes the tackle because their roster's not in it's in alphabetic order, not numeric order. I don't know why you do that. Craig James is the owner. Brian Eady, the defensive coordinator. Rico Jones, the DB coach. The head coach. Well, I don't see one listed. Knight. And she's got to get rid of this ball. And finally just throws it away. And that's a good job by Knight not to take the sack. I get it. He wants to make something out of nothing there. But if it's not there, get rid of it. The quarterback coach is Joaquin Pedrosia. Santee Allen is the linebacker coach. Richard Bailey, the wide receiver and assistant OC. And Fleet Barnstrong, the offensive line coach for the Raiders. Give you the Sharks coaching staff here after this play, which is 3rd and 11. Could be 4-down territory. Knight looking to throw. He does. Broke the wrong. Somebody, he either was running a post and out. I just weren't on the same page there, receiver and quarterback. So now to be 4th down, and it won't be 4-down territory as they will punt. The Sharks staff, owned by Eddie Dufresne, head coach is Scott Veit. The OC is Connor Veit. The AOC is Aiden Veit, and the DC is Mark Barton. The Veits are a football family. There is absolutely no doubt about that. I'd like to thank all of you for commenting. We are an interactive broadcast. We can have some fun tonight. Just all I ask that you keep it clean, man. We want you coming back and stay classy. Both of these fan bases are well-respected fan bases, both these programs. And so the Sharks punt it away, and Duval will have their 3rd possession of the first quarter following a strip sack in the first Sharks possession of the game. The Raiders recovered the ball, and 2 plays later, Malik Harris ran it in for 22 yards for a Raiders touchdown. The extra point was good, and that's where we are with 4:09 to play in the opening quarter. We also are going to be carrying some of the Raptors games this year as we watch that franchise grow. And the Sharks front 4 in there making things happen again. That time, I believe that was Veit in there on the stop that time. Ryan Veit as the 4 guys up front doing work. Up there, big number 77, Caleb Wright, went both ways last week, offensive line and defensive line. Of course, we talked to Hunter Sullivan in the Lucky Devil Barbershop pregame show. Also up front, Tay Jones, who, if he gets on a roll, look out. 3:25 to go, first quarter, 2nd and 12 now. And the ball carrier's Daryl Johnson Jr. There's just not much there for him. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 now. I love doing these games on Saturday night. Reminds me of when I was a kid, man. My dad used to take me to, I played youth football. I used to go watch the adults play football. They had semi-pro and amateur adult football back then. And, man, that's going to be delay a game. And so that's going to move them back 5 yards, or did they take the timeout? Nope, delay a game. So to be 3rd and 15 now. But I can just remember sitting there on a Saturday night watching these guys out there just bash each other's brains in, man. Takes a special kind of guy to play in leagues like this. These guys go to work 5 days a week. Yeah. 2:30 to go. 3rd and 15. I got an immense respect for him. Quarterback goes down at the 1 yard line there. Sorry about that. I didn't turn the camera. Goes down at the 1 yard line, and now it's 4th down and a trip back to Jacksonville for a first down. And so they're going to have to punt from their own, looks like about the 3 yard line. The lacrosse lines down there get you confused with where the yard markers are and all. But we have seen the defense of the Space Coast Sharks on instances just like this get in there and create a safety and block punt. So whatever happens here, the Sharks are going to have outstanding field position with $1:40 to play in the first quarter. Penny Wright says, let's go Sharks, cheering for Caleb. And they're going to take a timeout to make sure that they've got their blocking assignments covered. Yeah, you can't get nobody through there on this because it don't take nothing but a pinky to alter this entire play. 91 seconds to play in the first. Feels weird having no outside of this. It just feels weird like you're flipping through the TV today. Thank goodness March Madness is getting ready to start. I saw something today where ESPN is going to do 428 basketball games over the next couple of weeks for NCAA college basketball between men and women. 91 seconds here, though. And Sharks returner standing at the 50, and he gets it off, rushes it. The ball's going to bounce at the 36 and roll to the 48 of the Sharks. So that's a pretty good punt. It's going to be about a 45-yarder after the roll, 58-yard gross, 48-yard net. And with 1:13 to go, the Sharks are going to try to put together some sort of a sustainable drive here. They've made a couple of plays. They got a nice screen off, a good run. Tervel Francis picked up 12 yards on a run. They hit a 30-yard pass to the tight end. But after these plays, lose yards, so they've got to become consistent here. Only down 7-0. Knight with two backs in the backfield. He's going to give to Francis. Francis, that's a good run by Francis as he gets outside the tackle box area. He's going to pick up close to 5, solid 4, 2nd and 6. They're going to have to run one more play here in the first quarter. And then they'll just switch sides. The Sharks in the black with the red trim. The Raiders in those Raiders colors, black and gray. So the 2nd and 6 play, again, same formation. Again, an option, and again in the belly of the running back, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage +1. It'll be 3rd and 5 when we kick off or when we start the second quarter here, because I would imagine they're just going to take this to the end of the second quarter or the end of the first quarter. Yep, that's exactly what we're going to do here. So that'll be the end of the first quarter. A Malik Harris, 22-yard touchdown run off a Sharks turnover, and that's where we are after 1 quarter of play. Duval 7, East Coast Sharks nothing. All right, here we go. We flip sides here. 3rd down and 5. So Sharks trying to get something going here. Good run on first. On second. Let's see what's up the sleeve of offensive coordinator Connor Veit on 3rd down here. Knight drew him off sides. Now, this is where it's going to be interesting because I don't know that the 5 yards is close enough for the first down, so I think it's going to be 3rd and inches the way this referee walks this penalty off. You can see it on your. It might be spot on. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to be a couple inches short. They may even have to. Nope. He says move the sticks. There you go. First down. So a good job by Knight to draw them off, and the Sharks pick up the first down. Knight, little play action there. Jarvel Francis up the middle, and I like this drive. I like running the ball. I like challenging them up front. Make your guys up front, push them around a little bit, and that's what they're doing. Their size up front. There you see big 51 on your screen there. That's White. Is that Whitey out there? Whitey Whiteman out there? Whitey's 62 years old out there. It's either Whitey or Alvin. I can't tell if it's 51 or 61. I think it's 61. I think it's Alvin Sims. No, Whitey's on the sidelines. That's Alvin Sims. Knight back, blitz, throws, caught wide open in the slot area, down the seam, and that's a nice pitch and catch for a Sharks first down. The receiver is number 11, Julius Bell Bennett. First and 10 at the 27. Great play. Routine play. So, it's a needed play. Let's say that. Needed play. Showing blitz. They bring it. And that's a nice run blitz call there by the Raiders. And coming up from the secondary position was Keelan Stocker Sr., who absolutely shut down anything that East Coast was wanting to do there. 13 minutes to go here in the first half. 7-0. About what we expected between these two. East Coast driving, though, for the game-tying score here. 2nd and 13 following the loss of 3. Knight with 2 in the backfield. Cuts back, still on his feet. Nicely done by Duval. That's the linebacker getting off the pile there, number 45, who did a really good job in pursuit, holding his lane there. That's Jeremiah Jamison. And that forces another loss, and it's now 3rd down and 16. So 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Let's see what Patrick Knight's got up his sleeve here. The wide receiver split near side. Perry in motion. Play action. Knight drops back, throws, intercepted, and that would have been a pick 6. Oh, he doesn't go down, and he can still run. This is NFL and some college. I guess he can't run, or he might have rolled out of bounds. I'm not sure. But had he not lost his balance, that would have been a pick 6. And because there was nobody on the other side of that field to shut that down. And that is the 2nd turnover of the night. And number 18 picked that one off for Duval. That's you want to talk about having a night. How about Malik Harris? Malik Harris with a 22-yard touchdown run. And then right there, Harris picks that pass off. And the Sharks' promising drive goes away via turnover. The Raiders 1st and 10 at the 32, I think. Weiss turns, gives, big hole. 5 yards, shut down quickly, though. Oh, actually, we got a different quarterback in there now. We got number 4. That's Andrew Ray Jr., I think it is, number 4 in there. Is that number 4? Can't tell. He's got his jersey pulled up. Up the gut. And now the Raiders offense starting to find some momentum through the middle as Darryl Johnson picks up 17 and a first down. 16 and a first down. 10:58 to go here. No, it was number 9. It was William Weiss, not 4. So it's Weiss back in at quarterback. Sharks, they got the turnovers have been the difference in this one. And there's a quarterback option keeper by, make sure there's not 2 18s on the team. I don't see another 18 because that's 18 there, and that's Malik Harris. And that was the play they scored on, the 22-yard touchdown on that they just ran there to pick up the first down. So now it's 1st and 10 inside the Sharks 40 at the 39. 10 minutes on the dot to go here. First half action. That was the same exact play they scored a touchdown on. It's like musical quarterbacks. Weiss turns, quick out. And the receiver still on his feet as he tries to run over. He does run over the wide receivers and picks up 5, 6, 7 extra yards. Great play out there by DeTrance Limbrick. And it's going to be 1st and 10 inside or near the Port. 21 near the Port Java red zone. Just outside of it. Already 7 points off of turnovers in this one. Well within the range now of Dan Clayton, the kicker. Weiss wants it, gives. That's a face mask as every flag flies. Down the sideline, cut back, down to the 1-yard line, nearly in for a touchdown. Great run after almost having his head jerked off was Darionte Davis. And it'll be 1st and goal because they'll likely decline this penalty. I would. 1st and goal at the 1. You don't accept this. Take the ball at the 1. Dead ball holding against helmet to helmet against the Raiders. All right, so we have a hold against the Sharks and a helmet to helmet against the Raiders. Somehow all of that's going to come back and we're going to do it all over again. So just forget that even happened because those are called offsetting penalties and we replay the down. I didn't see either penalty, but I did see a face mask. But we had 3 flags out there, so I'm absolutely positive they occurred somewhere as fast as those flags flew in. 7:41 to go. And this is Malik Harris. Or no, it ain't. It's a 28 back there carrying the ball that time for Duval. That's Devin Johnson, who was listed as an athlete. So Devin Johnson gets the ball 7 yards, 6 yards, 2nd and 4. Sharks trying to hold them off the scoreboard here. It's DeTronce Limbrick. I think I'm saying his name right. DeTronce, I would imagine is how it is said. DeTronce Limbrick checks in, and we'll see if he plays quarterback, or will it be William Weiss, or number 15 looks like he may be calling a play here as well, and that'd be new if it's number 15. That's Philip Armstrong. But it is going to be William Weiss, as the other two will line up at the receiver position. Weiss gives straight up the middle and right through the middle of the Sharks' defensive line goes 0-0 Samuel Johnson. And just like that, with 7:27 to go, it's 13-0. And it's points off turnovers again that kill the Sharks. Samuel Johnson with a 12-yarder. Clayton on for the extra point. And he kicks that one to Coco. And with 7:27 to play, it's 14-0 Duval. Clayton set to kick off, two back deep here, 7:27 to go, and Sharks got to put something together here on their next drive here in the first half, and got to do so without turning the football over. Both turnovers tonight. Patrick Knight, a fumble and an interception thrown. And not a bad kickoff, not a great one, but it does get by and gives the my goodness gracious, not at all what East Coast needed there, as that ball just skirts by the returner, trouble picking it up, and it allowed the coverage team to get down and make a play. And now with 7:18 to go, it's going to be first and about 98 here. That ball bounced at the 15, and then as he tried to cut back, he was brought down at about the 4. They'll mark it at the 5. So first down at the 5 for the Sharks. 7:18 to go in the opening quarter. I think that's Patrick Knight at quarterback. We got I formation now, though. So this is a straight run formation coming out of your with the shadow of the goalpost on your backs. That's a quick pitch out to the tailback, who gets out to about the close to the 10, to the 9, picks up 4, 2nd and 6. Actually picks up 5, 2nd and 5. Straight up the middle again. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, I guess, here. And that'll be a Sharks first down. They've had success running the football tonight between the tackles. We've seen it. So, maybe we can see a little bit more of that here, running between the tackles. There is a size advantage that East Coast has over Duval between those tackles. And there you go. It's exactly what I'm talking about. And there is another 11-yard run. So that's 3 runs and 26 yards. It's 14-0. It's certainly not too late to get to get into a running type of a game plan here. If it's working, don't stop. Quick pitch outside. This is where they get killed. And that'll be Duval's got a lot of speed, but they do pick up 4 here, so you'll take 4 on first down every time. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7. 5:08 to go. I wouldn't change a thing. They're showing blitz on that left side, and they pitch it to the right. Nice call. Great call. Absolute great call. They blitzed from the left side. It was a quick pitch to the right and a big run away from the blitz, and the Sharks pick up a first down. .447 to go as Duval will take a timeout to try to discuss how to stop this rushing attack right now. They've picked up 35 yards on this drive alone on the ground. And Duval, I'm informed by Mr. Eddie Dufresne, that they've just used their last time out of the half. So 4:47 to go, and a collective effort by the backs and the offensive line has propelled the Sharks offense all the way out to the 40, starting this drive on their own 5. Coming up at halftime, absolutely nothing. We'll take a break. So if you're the Sharks, man, a touchdown would be nice here before the half because Duval won the toss but deferred. Sharks fumbled on their opening possession. So they'll get the ball. The Raiders will get the ball to start the second half, and I guess that's what they discussed during the timeout, was getting off the line of scrimmage quicker. Well, they did that time, but they got off too quick, and that's 5-yard offside penalty, and it'll be 1st and 5 for the East Coast Sharks. Yeah, he definitely tried to get in there quickly. Here comes Malik Harris checking into the game. He's had him a night. A touchdown and an interception. Turns, gives. On 1st and 5, forward progress will be a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 3. Sharks are going to have to put the ball in the air eventually here, unless they break one, because you only got 4:05 to play. Now you got all 3 timeouts. Knight leads them back to the line of scrimmage. quick dive up the middle, and that is another Sharks first down as the ball crosses the midfield stripe to the Raider 49. 3:40 to go. And it'll be 1st and 10 for East Coast at the Duval 49. This is where you may want to mix in a play action here and go right down, run a post route right down the seam here. Quick pitch to the right. Great run, another 7-8 yards. And there's a player down. He's going to get up and not. That's being tough right here. He's going to come off the field before they're forced to burn a timeout to get it, or the official is forced to stop the clock for an injury, and the Sharks can continue. That's unselfish play right there, and a great run that time by number 35 for the Sharks. That's Bryson Pretty. 2:25 to go. Sharks are going to have to hurry it up a little. And a quick pitch to the left again and cut down before he could get to the first down marker. And there's a late flag that flies, and that's going to go against Duval. It's going to be – see what the penalty is. I think it's holding against Duval. Nope. It's a personal foul against Duval. So that's 15 yards and a first down. That'll help. So the ball will be placed right around the 25-yard line, and now the Sharks will have opportunities to put this thing into the end zone with 2:16 to play in the first half as the ball is officially marked at the 27. Did not see the foul, so not sure what occurred on the play. Sharks will line up now with Knight in a pistol set. Four down lineman. And a late check-in here is number 4, Cameron Harris. Knight with an outside pass, good cutback, but it's not enough. Little confusion on that one. I like the idea of that play. You just need a blocker out there with him. Maybe if you had a slot guy out there, but you didn't. And it's no gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10. And it's 2 minutes to go. So the 2-minute warning. Here in the first half. 14-0 Duval on top. They have scored 2 touchdowns after forcing 2 turnovers. A Patrick Knight fumble led to a Malik Harris 22-yard touchdown run. And then a Patrick Knight interception would eventually lead to a Samuel Johnson 12-yard touchdown run. Both extra points good. And that's where we are with 120 seconds to play in the first half. Thank you. Glad you could all be with me here tonight. I want to say hello to Keelan Shepard, Chinchilla, Nathan Wilson, Ricky, and Kai's Custom Designs, all watching here tonight and commenting on the Brevard Sports Network. Appreciate you and appreciate your viewership. And that's going to be a delay of game, and that's not something you want with 2 minutes to go. I'm not sure how that happens with 2 minutes to play. Coming out of the warning. Nope, it's an illegal substitution. Who's it on? It's on Duval. So Duval gets caught with 12 guys on the field. Somebody's got to come out. They do. And it's now going to be 2nd and 5 for East Coast. So good play there, or good break there, I should say. And that's going to be 1st and 10 now inside the Lucky Devil Barber Shop red zone, because that's offsides. And we haven't run a play since the 2-minute warning. And East Coast has picked up 10 yards on 2 Duval penalties. So the ball is now at the 16. Desperately need a score here. Knight. Oh, great fake. Now, he's not going to pick up the world in terms of yards, but that's a nice job by Knight, who can kind of set himself up to throw that thing the next time, because that was a great fake. So another timeout taken by the East Coast Sharks. I want to say hello to Penny Wright, also watching. Penny's watching from Kansas City, Missouri, home of the, pains me to say it, Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. I think y'all trying to steal our offensive tackle on Monday, too. Ronnie Stanley from the Ravens. After trading Joe Thuney. You're going to need somebody to replace him. 1:33 to go. 2nd down and 8 now, following the 2-yard run. Sharks, I know it's overkill, but they desperately need these points. High snap to Nelson Campari, who's in at quarterback. Campari tries to get outside. Campari cuts back. He is not an easy man to bring down. He is a big man who can run fast, and that is a combination defensive backs are not fond of. 3rd down, and we'll say 5. Campari again, straight up the middle. Nelson Campari's got room. Touchdown, Sharks! Needed it, and Campari got it. And with 54 seconds to play, number 2 scores 6. This is where the Sharks scare me. On for the extra point. Snap. Yeah, the snap didn't have. This could be points. Yeah, this could be 2 points right here. That's a great block, and this is going to be 2 points on the extra point the other way. 2 or 1, I believe, is how that goes. Yeah, what is that, 1 point? Yeah, that's 1 point. So that's the 2-point play, or the kick is no good, and unfortunately, as a result of the block kick that's run back by Duval, it now becomes a 2-possession game. Because that's 1 point for Duval for doing that. I mean, great that the Sharks scored, but it's still now a 2-possession game. Okay. Haven't seen one of those in a while. As Nelson Comperi scores the touchdown. There's Nelson on your screen there. You can hear the frustration down on the Sharks sideline with the extra point. I mean, snap was there. It was just bobbled. I mean, the kicker didn't have. That's not on the kicker. Kicker did not have a chance because the snap was just bobbled. And Coach Vite is not happy about any of it, and I don't blame him. And that's a block that knocks the helmet off. I'll tell you what, number 0 was out there delivering blocks for days on that one. Keelan Stalker was out there knocking people's helmets off. Yeah, Coach White's not happy. And he's right on what he's saying. He's talking about the small things, and it is the small things that cost this team critical points at games, and he knows that. And you know, we've watched him. We've watched him be very patient with a lot of players on this team over the last 2 years. Coach Vite knows that this is a team good enough to win a championship, but it's plays like that that prevent you from doing that. And he's a great football coach. He knows that. So he's letting his guys have it, and I don't blame him. I do not blame him. Now, what he's saying is between them, but, you know, it's warranted. 18 seconds to go in the first half. And I don't imagine we'll see anything here, but yep, other than that. And this will take us to that'll take us to the end of the first half. And little mistakes, but mistakes that have turned into points for Duval. 15 of them to be exact. 2 touchdowns off turnovers and a returned missed extra point. And as we take a 15-minute break with the score 15-6, we'll be back for the second half here in about 13 minutes on Brevard Sports Network. Welcome back here. We'd like to thank, of course, Eddie's Dufresne and his East Coast Shark sponsors. Of course, the Lucky Barber, uh, the Lucky Devil Barber Shop in Port Java. Halftime here. So before we left for halftime, uh, we found out that the returned block extra point is worth 2 points. So it's now 16-6 instead of 15-6, and we'll return to those cool sponsors that Eddie has. But I'd like to recognize a few of the sponsors that help make Brevard Sports Network go as well. And one of those is Jimmy Hula's and Pineda Crossing. Jimmy Hula's Taco Tuesdays. You don't want to miss Jimmy Hula's. So we'll pay some homage to Jimmy Hula's here in the third quarter as well as Port Java and Lucky Devil Barbershop. As the Sharks, listen, football, when you have two pretty evenly matched teams as the Sharks and the Raiders are, a game like this is a difference of a couple of plays, and that is exactly what we have seen here tonight. A couple of turnovers, and, of course, 2 points off the blocked extra point, and that's the difference in the game right now. There's been nothing truly spectacular about anything these offenses have done. They've made a couple of plays when they've had to. But outside of that, this has just been one of those games where if you take advantage of the mistakes and opportunities the other team gives you, you're likely to be the winner. And right now, through 30 minutes of gameplay, that is the Duval Raiders. The touchdown by the Sharks was scored by Nelson Camperi on a typical Nelson Camperi run them over type of a run. The Raiders won the toss but deferred, so they will receive the second half kickoff, and we'll see what adjustments were made by head coach Scott Veit and his staff as we get set to kick off half number 2 here at the O-Dome, the legendary O-Dome, named after the legendary head coach Gerald Odom. And again, thank all of you. We got Marilyn Phillips says, go Bryson. From your Tennessee fans, Robert R. says, lock in Sharks. OTR. And we are underway. And that ball is fielded at the 12. Out across the 25. Cuts back. Still at the 25. And breaks 2 tackles and will eventually get drilled down by Veit. I believe that's Veit. No, that's not Veit because he's coming off. That was Veit. He'd be staying on. At the 24. So a great job on special teams there. By, I believe that's probably Bryson Pretty, the running back, and it is Bryson Pretty, the running back. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for Duval as they will take over here at the 25. Grady Pizarro out there counting them up. Pizarro on the left end, and they're going to bring pressure right out of the gate. Cuts back, finds a hole. Great. That's just a great run. That's great vision on an 11-yard run by Darrell Johnson Jr. Was no hole there between the guard and the tackle, and he slid outside and was able to pick up a lot of those yards on his decision-making alone. So now it's 1st and 10 on the 10-yard run out to the 35. Just underway, third quarter. And he goes nowhere. It's number 25 that time on the run. Deontay Davis, but the middle of that line, led by big number 77, Caleb Wright, gets in there and shuts it down. 13:50 to go, third quarter, just underway here in quarter number 3. Second and 10. William Weiss, the quarterback, turns, fires right across the middle, wide open, nice pitch and catch. That's 15 yards. Weiss fired that ball into the arms of number 14 for a gain of 15. That's Patrick McPherson Jr., the wide receiver. And in 3 plays, the Duval Raiders have the football, first and 10. Dead at the 50, 13-12 to go, third quarter. 2 backs in the backfield. Weiss turns, gives. Johnson Jr., we're going to get a flag on the play, see what the call is. And there's another flag on the play. So we got 2 penalties down. Let's see how these turn out. As the white hat comes over. Looks like we could get offsetting penalties again, or I'm not sure what's going on here. Figure it out together. Vite wants to know. He's got his arms open. Like, what are we doing here? Again, Jimmy Hula's best Taco Tuesday in Brevard, $8.50. So, So we got a hold against the Raiders and a personal foul against the Sharks. So that will all be nullified, and we'll play first and 10 over again. As the official from the far side comes in, we still got a flag down on the field, so that's going to have to be picked up. Gerald Johnson Jr. throws his arms up in the air like, come on, man, let's go. Let's go. I got this. DeTrance Limbrick is out there as well in the backfield. And you see big number 77, the right tackle. That's Edward Berry. Next to him is number 56. That's Joshua Bryant. And then you see number 75. That's Tristan Calhoun. It's a big offensive line. So, yeah, we just signaled all that again for some reason, for those, I guess, that didn't get it the first time. And here we go. That is one deep shotgun by William Weiss. That's a true shotgun right there. Now he moves up a couple of yards. That's still a long snap. And that's, yeah, that's why you don't do that. And down goes, that's going to be incomplete or, I get it. Your center should be able to make that snap. But when you do that once a game from that, I don't know. It's just, unless you're doing a 6-7 yard snap like that consistently, I don't think it's something I'd ask my center to do in the third quarter. Pistol snap and 4 yards, yeah, that's fine. That one was on the ground the whole way, but it's a gain of 4 anyway, as Weiss makes something out of nothing, completing the pass. And we're going to get a different quarterback in for 2nd and 6. We got a penalty, though, against the Raiders, and that's the thing the Raiders are shooting themselves in the foot against. They got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so that's going to be 15 yards against them. What was that call, Ed? sideline warning. So it's 10 yards. No, that's 15. So, yeah, they just picked. Apparently, they've gotten one earlier in the game because that would have to be the second one in order to walk off 15. So now it is second down and 20 at least. Oh, wow. There's a nice break of a tackle and getting all of those yards back. +1 is DeAndre Limbrick. And, well, he got almost all of them back. And now it'll be third down and 9. But the thing the Raiders are shooting themselves in the foot with tonight are penalties. So now it's 3rd and 8 for Duval. 16-6 is our score. Weish in trouble. Rolls, slides, rolls. He's going to take off down the sideline. He's not going to get very far. And that is actually, if he picked up a yard, so it won't be a sack. It'll be 4th down and still 8. So well, if it's no yards gained, then he gets it. Then that's a sack. So they're going to punt here. So unable to do anything with the football to start the second half is Duval. Now, East Coast has got to hurry up. And, yep, you saw what I just saw. Snap. Good punt. Line drive, though. It's going to take a Raider bounce, and that thing's going to roll down to the 10-yard line. So East Coast will start 1st and 10 from the 10 when we return here on Brevard Sports Network. All right. 1st and 10 now for the East Coast Sharks from, looks like about the 10-yard line there. 11-10 to play in the third. Flags. False start, so now it'll be 1st and 15 from the 5. And this is the second time tonight that East Coast is going to have to start from their own 5. Not ideal. But earlier they were able to run the ball out of here. And there's a quick pitch out. And Bryson Pretty picks up. We'll see here how far he was able to slide outside. He picks up 2, 2nd and 8. Ball is, I guess he was at the 10, so the 12. 2nd and 8 at the 12. I told you, those lines down there are confusing, man. There are a ton of lines down there on that field. 10:30 to go. Clock running. Sharks down by 2 scores. Pretty runs in to and he is bent backwards, sideways, and twisted up one side and back down the other for a loss of 4, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Loss of 3, 3rd and 10. That was not pretty. Yeah, I said it. 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Nate Yankee's okay. Nate Yankee was number 52. He was the one out there with fluids coming out. And Knight just throws one up here, and that's triple coverage. They're going to throw a flag on that. First of all, it's not a catchable ball. Second of all, this is not a good call. Not a good call. But you take it. You take it because you need something to jumpstart you and get you out. But that's not a good call. You got three defenders on it. The ball was never going to be caught by the receiver. And, yeah, so that's just a bad call. And if you're Duval, I think you got a little got every right to be upset by that. So they thought, well, they're playing a mix of NFL and college rules, so it's just a 15-yard penalty. Apparently on the pass interference, they take and use the 15-yard rule instead of the spot foul rule. So it's 15 yards, but it is a first down, and they do not have the shadows of the goalpost on the backs of their jerseys anymore. So it's 1st and 10 at the 25 now. 9:29 to go. Knight in trouble, in a lot of trouble, and I thought he was going to throw it. Wisely goes down there or is sacked, and that's a good play by number 13 who gets in there and gets the sack for Duval. That's DeJuan Hayes. And that is a loss of 8, 2nd and 18. I thought he was going to throw it. So 2nd down and 18 for the East Coast Sharks. 8:40 to go in a quick moving third. Knight, screen pass, it worked earlier. It will not this time, as he is absolutely drilled into the surface of the ground there, of the turf here at the O-Dome, and all over it was the Raiders' front seven. That's just a great job by number 40 to slide off of his block and make that play. You just got to hold that block another second and a half longer. Looking, lets it go. Open and underthrown and nearly intercepted. It'll be 4th and 18, and East Coast is going to be forced to punt. He had him, but he's got to cut it loose earlier. Trying to find number 40 on the roster. Yeah, I don't see a 40 on the Duval roster. My apologies, big guy. Trying to show you some love there. Don't have it. Yeah, they do have a good line. That punt is high, but not very far. And it takes a East Coast bounce across the 50 and will roll. And, I mean, there are flags everywhere as this guy is sprawled out. And now up. Apparently he drew a flag, so the Sharks apparently picked up that penalty because there is enough laundry on the field to require a tied stick. And so this will be, let's see here, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Sharks. So they're going to start 15 yards further back than where that ball rolled to. So that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Sharks from about the 35. The one thing the Sharks have had tonight is good field position, but the Raiders' defense has prevented them from doing anything solid with it. outside of starting twice at their own 5. Oh, they're going to assess this penalty. Okay. I'm sorry, the Raiders will start 15 yards further. They're going to. Yeah, I completely lost my mind on that one. Yeah, my bad. So the Raiders start in outstanding field position, and this is Daryl Johnson. He's a good back, picks up 5. That's all you need, right? Yeah, I confused myself on the possession change there for a second. So it's the Raiders who will start with outstanding field position. Second down and 5 now. Weiss turns, gives, and I don't think he could believe that there was a hole that big there. He turned and looked to his left, had plenty of room there. Turned and looked upfield, had plenty of room there. And Samuel Johnson picks up a Raider first down. 6:33 to go. And if you're the Sharks, man, you got to think that right now they're in Dan Clayton or approaching Dan Clayton territory, but they're not even thinking field goal because it's 1st and 10 at the 25. And if the Raiders can punch this thing in here, uh, they may be also hammering the final nail here. A lot of time left, but nothing the Sharks offense is doing tonight indicates that they'd be capable of coming back if they get this ball in the end zone from 17 points down with the way that Raider defense is playing. So it's a gain of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 9 as William Weiss looks over, gets the call. He's got Johnson lining up in the near slot with Daryl Johnson in the backfield. And that's a wide receiver screen read nicely by the Sharks. Somebody missed a block. He had 3 receivers over there. Somebody's got to throw a block. No block, no rock. So that's a loss of 4, 3rd and 13. .440 to go. Now it's an empty backfield. 3 wide receivers to the near side. That's Trips, doubles to the left. Weiss wanted it, takes off with it, throws wide open. What a catch. Behind him the ball was, but an outstanding grab by number 9. Check that number 8 out there. Number 9 threw the ball. Number 8 is Derek Johnson, the wide receiver. Weiss to Johnson, and it's 1st and goal from the 9. That's just a great job by Johnson. They go back behind him because Weiss threw the ball behind him. He stopped. And that had to be a hands catch, and it was. And with 4:14 to play, we got a timeout on the field. Weiss did a nice job sliding to his left, buying time to find the open receiver of Derek Johnson. So the Raiders looking to finish off a drive that began following an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the 37 of the Sharks. The Raiders looking to move 3-0 all time against East Coast, and this is certainly, if the Sharks don't come away with this one tonight, certainly a lot that they can take from this. I mean, this is a good football team, and that's going to be, yeah, they got 2. It's who has 1, 2, 3? Somebody's got too many men on the field here. Yep, it's the Sharks. So the Sharks are going to be called for too many men on the field, and that's going to be a half the distance penalty, and it'll be first and goal. Now, you had one of the best possible scenarios at first and goal from the 9 if you're the Sharks defense. Now it's first and goal. Actually, it's not a half the distance. It's 5 straight yards from the 4 as Weiss turns, gives, and the little bobble there at the snap allowed the Sharks defense to get in there and shut it down as number 25 loses 3 yards, and it's second and goal from the 7. Last week, East Coast had 5, count them, 5 stops and first and goal to go situations. So this would be huge if they could get one here. Duval is certainly well within Clayton's territory. A field goal would make this a 19-6 lead. 13 points, 3:30 to play in the third. Weiss with a back to his right. Bad snap, throws, one-on-one. Caught, he got it. What a throw. What a catch. What's he going to call? Touchdown. I didn't see an indication, but it is a touchdown. Great catch. I mean, outstanding job getting both feet in, and Weiss put that ball only where he could get it. What a play. And the referee, it was the referee under the goalpost that made the call. And with 3:14 to go here, the Raiders with a beautifully executed corner route to the end zone. Clayton, his kick it's going to be offsides, but this is going to be declined. But Clayton's kick is good, and it's going to be 23-6 following that. That's one of the prettier plays you'll see at any level. I'm trying to get the number of the wide receiver that caught that thing. Number 14 on the catch for Duval. It's Patrick McPherson Jr. with a great job, great concentration to get the feet down, and the Raiders put 7 more on the board. You gotta appreciate good stuff when you see it, man, and that was as good as it gets at any level right there. 23-6, 3:14 to go in the third. So obviously, whatever running attack or rushing attack you had established prior to the half is out the window. Because if you're the Sharks, the rock's got to go in the air. As Clayton gets set to kick off here. Good kick by Clayton, his best of the night. The ball fielded at the 10, out across the 20, 25, 26. Still on his feet, out across the 30, and he'll be eventually tackled and brought down at the 33-yard line. So this is where the Sharks will start. First and 10 at their own 33. And trailing by 17 with 3:05 to go in the third, following the outstanding Weiss to McPherson pass for the touchdown. Malik Harris started it off with a 22-yard run. Samuel Johnson scored a touchdown on a 12-yard scamper, and then they picked up 2 points after returning a failed extra point attempt off the Sharks' only touchdown. And you just saw the Weiss to McPherson corner route. The extra point good, 23-6. Is that that was Limbrick, huh? Okay, you said a Limbrick. All right, my bad. And The Sharks. Thank you for the help, though. DeTrauncey Limbrick with the catch then. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you for the help. I got my producer. I'm flying solo tonight. I'm working the camera, the scoreboard, the producing. My normal producer is off of the 7v7 tournament this weekend, working another event. So flying solo tonight. So I definitely appreciate you looking out there. 2:20 to go, and this is Nelson Campari in the third quarter. Campari gets no help, no blocks. And that's half of the Raiders defense that comes in and just shuts it down. And that'll be 2 minutes to go in the third, and that's a loss. And that'll take them back, and it'll be 3rd down and 10 now. 3rd and 10. My goodness. That's usually, Nelson Campari's usually the guy delivering those hits. 1:39 to play in the third. I don't know what this bunch formation is. Campari looked like he was going to. Uh-oh. And Campari just lets it fly out of bounds. And Campari was hoping he was going to get. Did he get it? Yes, he does get it. So it's going to be a roughing the passer penalty. A roughing the passer penalty on 3rd and 10. And again, the Raiders shoot themselves in the foot with a penalty that will give East Coast a first down. I didn't see it. My eyes were trained on the throw there here to the near sideline. But that's 15 yards and a first down for the Sharks. So, oh, cool, man. Well, I'm glad you got to see it, man. I really am. I hope you feel better, my man. Feel better. 1st and 10. Campari. And, yeah, they're just going to run it up the gut. Yeah, you guys do nice work, man, on social media. I was checking this stuff out today, and I like your social media pages and your videos. You guys do a good job, man. You know, at this level, a lot of this, in order to have a successful franchise, and I know you'll probably agree with this, but you've got to be able to brand and market your team. And Eddie Dufresne and I have begun the process of doing that, and you know, with the pregame shows and the interviews and things of that nature. But you know, a team like Duval, they do an outstanding job, and usually the more successful teams in the league, you see that. And the Sharks are certainly working their way to that. 25 seconds to go in the third as we get ready for the fourth quarter. We have a player running on without his helmet. He was wanting to play so bad he forgot his helmet. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. You just want to get on there and make a play. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. With the score, it's all Raiders right now, 23-6. All right, welcome back. Part of our fourth quarter is going to be sponsored by My Card. And if you're not familiar, my card for student athletes, there are two my cards out there. One is for the professional, the real estate agent, so to speak. But the my card for the student athlete is really a thing that with NIL and recruiting and the way things are going right now, my card for student athletes is an absolutely incredible thing that, and it's free, that these young student athletes can use to promote themselves, network, and create a brand, and that'll be all sides there. And it really is unique because a lot of times if you're looking to get recruited or you're trying to get your game highlights out there and you're trying to get your film out there, you gotta reach out to coaches on X or Twitter or whatever you call it now, and Facebook or whatever, however social media wise. This thing right here, you send them a barcode, coach opens it up, and everything, contact, highlights, all of it is in one barcode, and it's a beautiful thing for them. GPAs, transcripts, whatever they want to put in there to send to their coaches. Fourth quarter underway here, and the Sharks, if they're going to come back, they're going to need points on this drive, and that's a good pitch and catch there. That's a good job. Try to get that going. As Knight gets it out to number 11, which is Julius Bell Bennett, and that's a gain of 8, 2nd and 2 now on the out route. 14-17 to go. Oh, man, I couldn't agree. Oh, that ball is just thrown up and out of bounds. I couldn't agree with you more about that. The comment, in case you don't see it, is that some people try to make jokes, but I feel like there's a bigger story to be told at this level. I have the utmost respect for these guys, man. We broadcast both Brevard County teams. We do all 5 home games for the Sharks, and we're doing 3 for the Raptors this year. And I got to tell you, man, these guys, man, they work 5 days a week, man. They put their bodies on the line. Some of these guys go on to play Arena League or some other stuff. But, with the way that – and stop and think about this. With the way that college recruiting is now in football, a lot of guys – it's 3rd and 3 here. Finish the thought after this play. Great play by the interior line of the Raiders there. Number 15 with a big stop there. But you stop and think about it. Guys that were D2, D3 10, 15 years ago are now JUCO or not getting recruited at all. A lot of guys that are D1 are now D2, D3. So amateur, adult, semi-pro, whatever you want to call it, football is going to become a bigger thing. And a guy like Michael Torres in the EAFL and what they produce and how they pay out and how they're able to do things can help a lot of these guys get to where they want to go. And I agree with you. There's a much bigger story to tell here if you're willing to take a deeper dive into it. And the Raiders defense shuts it down on 4th and short unless the spot is a generous one. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, you are absolutely right. It is just there's a lot that can happen here for even current student athletes that don't have. I saw a young man commit today to a place called the Daytona Elite Academy, and I got a coach that texted me and asked me. He said, "Well, what is that?" I said, "Well, it's a new JUCO type school that opened up in Daytona. They've been open for 2 years." But now with the new rules in college where JUCO does not count against eligibility anymore, there are a lot of options now for guys who aren't being recruited like they would have been recruited 10 years ago. And the EAFL is certainly one of those options. Me and you need to do we need to do a little show together and talk about this, man. Oh, that's cool, man. Vance Bennett signed by the Jacksonville Sharks a couple of weeks ago. That's awesome to hear. Message me on Facebook. I'll reach out. That's a big run up the middle, and it was a turnover on downs, and the Sharks with 13:05 take over. And that run on first down is gut-wrenching to watch there if you're a Sharks fan. It's got 11 yards on first down. Sharks are going to get there, folks. I'm telling you, this will be a learning experience for them. And I know they're frustrated. I know Coach White's frustrated, but 5-6 plays either way, and this could be a different ball game for them. But the numbers are there. I mean, you look at the sideline for Duval. I mean, 2 years ago when they played Duval, the numbers on that sideline didn't look like that in terms of how many players were standing there. So this thing is growing, and the Sharks will get much better throws. Oh, wow. Jumped the coverage and didn't come up with it, and that is a touchdown. That's 00, who stayed patient. Samuel Johnson comes up with the 60-yard touchdown from William Weish, and with 12:16 to play, it's 29-6. I'll reach out to you later tonight. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski here. I'm going to put it right in the chat for you. You can hit me on Brevard Sports Network. Hit me on Brevard Sports Network. Send me your number, and I'll text you later tonight. We'll set it up, man. That was a beautiful play right there. The DB jumped the coverage, and that's all or nothing. And on that particular play, it was nothing. And Clayton comes on for the extra point as looking to make it 30-6. The snap, the hold, the kick. And the kick is good. And with 12:16 to play in the game, Duval takes a 24-point lead. Weiss to Johnson for 60 yards, and with 12:16 to go, Duval has jumped out to a 24-point 30-6 lead here at the O-Dome on the campus of Merritt Island High School. We've seen some historic comebacks here at Merritt Island, but this would go to the top of the list. But if it's to be, there's going to have to be points right now. Clayton set the kick off here. And Clayton with a kick that'll reach the 12. And the returner out across the 20. Trying to get to the 30, but he will not. He'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Sharks will take over. And here comes Patrick Knight. Now, if you're the Sharks right here, now's an opportunity to get out here and open things up a little bit, and let's see what our passing game can do. Obviously, because you're not going to be able to run the football here. And I mean, obviously they'd love to try to come back and win this game, but I honestly believe that this is where you get better as a football team. A lot of these guys, sometimes these guys can't make practices during the week and things like that. So that's why you got to take advantage of every minute of every game, no matter what the score is. There were people a couple of weeks ago when they played the new Brevard County team that were upset at the score in that one. Well, they had second and third string guys in there, playing the offense, and we're going to get timeout by Duval on the field. So, you got to take advantage of every opportunity you have to snap a football together. $12:08. Once again, we want to thank My Card, and I just want to show you real quick what that looks like on your screen there. There's the video, and That's Durant Guilford from Coco, and that's all the things that you could set up on there. Your highlights, all of it. These student athletes, it's really a great networking tool. Dontarius Robertson Jr. It's really a great tool for the student athlete, and it doesn't matter what sport. It doesn't have to be just football. Volleyball players are big in NIL money, and listen, am I to stay off your lawn guy where I wasn't for NIL and paying athletes? Yeah, I was at first, but there's offsides. But now that it's here and you can't change it, you might as well help these kids learn how to navigate it and function with it and earn income on it. And my card is one of the ways to do that. And Tracy Campbell, who is our local guy, former Cocoa Tiger quarterback, won a state championship with Cocoa. He's definitely the right guy for it. Knight back to throw, and he just lets one go. He's got a receiver and throws into double coverage, and it'll be incomplete. Knight's got an arm. $12 minutes to go, and that's the only thing with throwing the football now is that every incomplete pass will stop the clock, without a doubt. Malik Harris with a 22-yard touchdown run. Samuel Johnson with a 12-yard touchdown run, and then a two-point scoring play off of a returned missed extra point underneath and throws behind the receiver, and he catches it. That's a great job out there by number 11, Julius Bell Bennett, who makes his third catch of the night on a ball thrown behind him. And then Nelson Camperi would score for the Sharks, as that's when the 2 points were scored by Duval on the missed conversion. And then an outstanding throw from William Weish to McPherson, and then Weish to Limbrick in as good of a corner route, getting the feet in as you'll see at any level of football. 11:23 to go. 1st and 10, and there's a little out route back to Samuel, who will step out of bounds. He'll pick up 5, but it'll be 2nd down and 5. That does not stop the clock, though. Excuse me, 2nd down. We'll call it a long 5, short 6. Knight. He's got time. Not a lot of pressure. Standing on the sidelines was 00 there. That's Hassan Childs, the former USF player who is normally playing some defensive back, but out there playing wide receiver and makes the catch there. 10:20 to go, and it's 3rd and 4. And I would think no matter where this ball is now, you've got to make a 1st down. So I would think 4-down territory here if they don't pick up 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Knight looking to throw again, does so, and no communication there. That was either supposed to be a 10-yard out or a 7-yard out. The receiver ran a 7-yard out. The ball went 10 yards out, and it's 4th down here, and nope, they are going to go for it. So 10 minutes and 2 seconds left as the clock stops. Here, Nelson Camperi will come in, and I would think you just want to try to put the ball in Camperi's hands and let him just try to pick this up here, because it's about 3.5 to 4 yards to go. Ball's down on the ground and out, and doesn't matter if it's recovered by Duval or not. It's a turnover on downs. So Duval will take over 1st and 10 at the Sharks' 43-yard line with 9:57 to play, and we got an injured player down on the field. That's something we did not want to see tonight, and we don't show injured players. Some of you may be asking, well, you showed the guy laid out earlier. Well, I knew he wasn't hurt. He was just had his arms out. You saw him hop right up. So, once again, we want to thank My Card and appreciate Tracy Campbell and all that he does in his partnership with Brevard Sports Network. It is our sponsors that make us go, and I know Eddie Dufresne feels the same, and I know he wants to thank Port Java and, of course, Lucky Devil Barbershop. We talked to Hunter Sullivan earlier in our pregame, and we'll get that pregame a little bit better for you. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the audio there. My apologies, folks. So we'll just pull out the headsets and do it there. I'm so sorry. Guess we had a little technical glitch. So we'll just do it this way. These things go wrong sometimes. But the touchdown was Hassan Childs from Patrick Knight, 65-yard touchdown. Nice play. See if we can get the headsets back working so you don't have to put up with all that background noise. 3:27 to go. But I thank you all very, very much for notifying me. Throws off the fingertips. Yeah, I don't know what happened, and please forgive me. But I had no idea that if I didn't look at the comments, I wouldn't have known that there was anything wrong with the audio there for the last couple minutes. So thank you very much. 3:15 to play. And again, want to make sure those that made the plays get their love. It was Patrick Knight to Hassan Childs for 65 yards for the touchdown. So I want to thank Darren Sullivan, Penny Wright, and Killy World for letting me know about the audio. Duval, 3rd down and 11. $3:15 to go in the game. And right now, you're just trying to make sure nobody gets hurt. Fourth down and 11, and Duval is going to punt. And it's just the second time tonight that we've seen the Raiders punt. And the first time was way back in the fourth quarter, or first quarter. Way back in the fourth quarter. Way back in the first quarter. And that is a floater of a snap, but Clayton gets it off. That ball goes out of bounds at the 23. And with 3:08 to go, the Sharks will look to try to get back into the end zone one more time. Sharks will drop the 2-1, and Duval will move to 3-0. They got the Spartans, the Wolverines, the Wave, the Capos, the Pirates, and the Gladiators in the Elite South AA division, and the Elite South, or AAA division, I should say. And in the Elite South AA division, it's the Sharks, the Barons, the Jokers, the Highlanders, the Warriors, Hawks, Indians, Lions, the Brothers Through Christ, and the Hurricanes. And they all play in the Elite South AA. So plenty of football left this year, plenty of football. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty. If you're Duval, that's the thing you got to work on, is cleaning up the penalties. And they generally either go away or increase as the year goes on. Throws, caught, and that's Hassan Childs again. And Childs is what we like to call a playmaker. And Childs gets the ball out near the 50. And Patrick Knight has a new favorite target. No doubt, Hassan Childs is it. Childs will be tasked with double duty moving forward. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That's a sack. Got to tuck that hair, man, so I can see that number. 45 on the sack. And to say, man, he was shot out of a cannon on that one. That's Jeremiah Jamison, the defensive end that just came in there and dropped Knight. 2:11 to go in the contest, and it's now 2nd and 25. Knight looking, and that pass is incomplete. That'll stop the clock with a 1:54. But we're going to go to the 2-minute warning, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to keep it right here as long as you all can still hear. I'm not touching anything. I'm not moving anything. So, yeah. There's that. 37-12 is our score with a $1:54 to go, and I would imagine these next 2 minutes will fly by here. And once again, don't forget to spring forward tonight with your clocks. Yes, 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 yes. We lose an hour. A lot of people like that, though. But I will give you a quick factoid. You can look this up. Here's something you probably didn't expect to learn tonight. Did you know that the most traffic accidents in the United States occur during time changes? Just a heads up. Be careful out there driving on Monday to and from work. In the weeks and days after you either fall back or spring forward, that's when there is a significant increase in the number of traffic accidents. I heard that a couple of years ago on a radio station, and it's just always stuck with me. Jeremiah Jamison with the sack. 4th and forever. And I would imagine that this punt will lead to a couple of kneel downs, dropped, and nice job getting it off. Good punt. Takes a Sharks bounce down to the 24. And I would imagine that Duval will come out and take a couple of knees, and that'll wrap it up. I want to thank my good friend, clock operator and official tonight, Ed Dufresne, always for his help. I want to thank Eddie Dufresne, the owner of the Space Coast Sharks. I want to thank all of you for joining me here tonight. Always love spending my Saturday nights doing EAFL games, and we'll see you for, we got 6 more this year, 3 with the Raptors and 3 with the Sharks, and maybe if we're good, Michael Torres will ask us back for the Super Bowl. We'll see. 1:38 to go. And, of course, the sponsors. I want to thank the Lucky Devil Barbershop, Port Java, and those are the Sharks' primary sponsors. And, of course, on Brevard Sports Network, we want to thank Jimmy Hoolis and, of course, My Card. We're just going to get a straight handoff here and a tackle. 90 seconds to play. 37-12. Nice job tonight by Duval. It's not easy to come down and make that trip 2.5 hours and play somewhere else and win a game, and Duval did that tonight. So congratulations to them and their fans on the win. And good luck to you the rest of the season. 55 seconds to go. And for the Sharks, an off week next week, and they'll fix it and get back at it on the 22nd. I'm not sure why you would do this. I think you probably just want to take a knee and don't want to get anybody hurt as Lindbergh just slides down there. 33 seconds to go, and there's no formation sweeter than victory formation anyway. As the referee winds his hand. 20 seconds. And that'll do it from the O-Dome, the on the campus of Merritt Island High School. The Duval Raiders with a 37-12 win over the East Coast Sharks tonight. Tonight's game brought to you by Port Java and Lucky Devil Barbershop. So for all of you, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski representing the Brevard Sports Network. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you again for another EAFL game on March